Hare Krishna. The spiritual in application is the path to the spiritual in constitution. The spiritual in application refers to that which is used for spiritual purposes. Spiritual in constitution refers to that which is intrinsically spiritual, that which is made of sat-cit-anand. Now in the Bhagavad-gita, Krishna talks about the spiritualization of the ingredients of yajna. In 4.24 he states, Brahma arpanam brahma havir brahmagno brahmanahutam brahmaiva tena gantavyam brahma karma samadhina. So he says so he talks about how that which is offered in the sacrifice, Brahma arpanam brahma havir, the fire itself, the oblation, the performer, all of them are Brahma. Now when he says this, and he says that Brahma arpanam brahmaiva tena gantavyam, by this one will attain Brahma. Brahma karma samadhina, because one's consciousness is absorbed in Brahma karma, in spiritual activity. Now here there is a significant point that if what is around one is already Brahma, if the yajna is Brahma, if the ahuti is Brahma, if the spoon is Brahma, sacrificial ladle is Brahma, then what is the meaning of attaining Brahma? And then Brahma is itself here itself. Then why does one have to attain Brahma? Because this is what is around us is Brahma in application, whereas beyond the material world is Brahma in constitution. And Brahma karma samadhina, by absorbing oneself in doing Brahma karma, in spiritual activities, by application in spiritual realm, we will attain the spiritual destination. What this means is that when we are living in this world, we cannot suddenly divorce ourselves from matter. Even when we want to pursue a spiritual goal, even when we want to attain the spiritual destination, still we cannot suddenly disconnect ourselves from matter. And the Bhagavad-gita pragmatically offers us the opportunity to use the material in the service of the spiritual. So when we use material things in the service of Krishna, they become spiritualized. They become spiritual in application. Our wealth, our very body, our intelligence. Now if we see, the body is material. Wealth is wealth, currency, or whatever way the wealth is there. It is made of matter. And similarly our intelligence is also a subtle matter. But all these, when we use them in the service of Krishna, when we think, how can I best serve Krishna with these things, then they become spiritual in application. And by applying themselves spiritually in this way, our consciousness becomes more and more spiritualized. Our consciousness becomes connected with Krishna. It becomes purified by that connection with Krishna, and then it becomes attached to Krishna, because Krishna's all attractiveness manifests more and more in the purified consciousness, and naturally we become attached. And in this way, our consciousness goes towards Krishna. So the Krishna himself is spiritual, and as we become more and more attracted to Krishna, we realize our spiritual identity as souls, as sat-cit-anand, and increasingly we become elevated towards the spiritual world, which is spiritual in constitution. So thus the spiritual in application, that means using the worldly resources that we are applying, we are using for spiritual purposes, they become the paths for our attaining the spiritual in constitution, that is the spiritual world. So rather than rejecting the world, we focus on using the spiritual, on using the material in the service of the spiritual. Through spiritual application of the material, we transcend the material and we attain the transcendental. Thank you. Hare Krishna.